Howdy and welcome. I'm Mike from Board Games for One. I'm here because I found a hidden gem that I really want you to know about to see if this is a good solo play for you. Now, this is a 1 to 4 player game, Heroes Crossing. It was at Gen Con, but I didn't go to Gen Con. I went to Galaxy Con. I got to dress up like Cal Kestis from Star Wars. Went to Galaxy Con and there was this, One Method Monkey. They had a table. And I saw this game, and it says 2 to 4 players on the box. And so I asked them if it had a solo variant, and sure enough, they said it did, and it actually comes in the box. So, before we get into this game and whether it's good for you, let's have an aperitif. Monsters and madmen are everywhere. Glory awaits the stalwart heroes who would stand against the forces of evil. You're not one of those heroes. You're the people behind the heroes, the shopkeepers and the smithies and the potion brewers who outfit adventurers with the gear necessary to undertake their quests. In Heroes Crossing, players manage individual towns that produce and sell resources heroes need on their journeys. Your task, should you choose to accept, is to juggle supply and demand to best outfit the heroes with what they'll need. Do your job wrong, and a brave knight may end up fighting a dragon with nothing but twigs and shoelaces. Do your job right, and dude, you may help save the world. To play Heroes Crossing as a single-player game, you should be familiar with the standard rules. Solo play is largely the same, but introduces a phantom player to disrupt the player's strategy. Your goal is to have 40 or more victory points before the game ends. If you manage this, you've won. Whew, well, that was a lot. So, final thoughts on this. Of course, your final thoughts are the most important, so please let me know in the comments, questions, feedback. But what's the good? And then we'll go into some of the bad. The good, of course, I actually love the artwork. I love the 90s nostalgia. I love the 8-bit level 1 upgrading to the 16-bit. And actually, it's lovely. Like I'm still thinking there's a camera up there. Like the 16-bit cards and then the 32-bit cards. The little details just make me so happy. And as far as the gameplay goes, the gameplay flows wonderfully. It flows similar to a game called Obsession, where you have a tableau in front of you, except Obsession, you have like a hand that you manage. You don't really have a hand, you have abilities that you earn from the heroes that you gain favor from, or however you want to word that. Yes. So I enjoy that, and most of the abilities make a lot of sense. They make sense, like the sorcerer can transport things. They are truly useful, different types of abilities. Some give you end game benefits, some give you immediate benefits only one time, and some give you benefits that you can exhaust every round and then turn them back up. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the changing market. I appreciate the 2 action system and how there are 5 different cards with 5 different combinations and they're randomly chosen, so that alters your game quite a bit. The quality, these are nice quality. They're going to have no problems. The little meeples are little 8-bit meeples, which I enjoy that as well. The Dice Graveyard, just love this thing. I pull this game out just for fun. That says a lot to me. So, I love this game. Let's go to the bad. The first is actually nothing unique to this game. This is most multiplayer games that have a solo mode. This isn't really even fairly a bad thing. It's just a fact of life. Sometimes there are cards that don't work for solo mode, and usually the solo instructions will let you know, remove these 6 cards from the game. These solo instructions don't tell you that, so you should know there are 6 or 7. Let me throw cards at you first. There are 6 or 7 cards that don't work with the solo mode. And what I mean by don't work is you can't use the hero's abilities. You can still keep them in there and gain points or whatever. It's just if you earn them, the ability isn't useful because you're not interacting with other players and it doesn't work with the solo opponent. So you can leave them there, keep them for points. I just remove them. You know what they are because they require interaction with another player. So if you draw it out, then you just remove it and replace it with something else. I only play solo for this game, so I just keep them in their own separate deck. So just good to know that that's there. Normal for most multiplayer games. However, I will say these solo rules are actually quite well written, and this should have gone in the good. I appreciate the simplicity of the solo mode. If you are looking for an intelligent AI that reacts to your decisions, this does not do that. So sometimes the downside to that intelligent AI is you sometimes have to manage a little more, think a little more. It may not be a relaxing experience, but it may be a fun challenge. This is more of a relaxing experience. Again, it reminds me a bit of Honey Buzz or Obsession, where the AI opponent is just there to mess with you, get in your way, take away things you want. And I'm fine with that. I enjoy that experience. I enjoy the other type of AI too, but some variety is good. So this is nice and relaxing. However, though I really do appreciate these solo rules, they did not include, and this is a major down, they did not include scalable difficulty. So they say you win by getting 40 points. Well, you could see it didn't look like I was going to win, and I did win. So it gets too easy. I need scalable difficulty. And you might be like, well, just, beat your own score, raise the score. That's fine. That's fine, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it when the designers include that. All right, so On Mars did that. There's like 5 different missions, or you've got Mercado de Lisboa has got a 10 mission campaign of, granted, that requires extra play testing, so I understand you can't always go that far, but I really appreciate it as a solo player, and I think it would go a lot toward the value of this game because I love this game. This is such a hidden surprise for me. I wouldn't have given this 2 looks. For some reason, I saw it at the convention. They said it had a solo variant. I was like, I'm taking it home, whatever, we'll see. And I was giddy having fun with it, but I was so disappointed by the lack of scaled difficulty. So what you can do if you want to fix it yourself, unless if you're the designer and you find this, we love you very much, and we really like this, I would love to see some scalable difficulty. But anyway, you can just be like, all right, so 40 points is they are geared up enough to defend your little town. Great. 50 points, now they can defend the roads going out of the town. Maybe if you want to get crazy and go like 55 points, well, now we're going toward protecting the kingdom or whatever, and then 60 points, you're saving the world. You can do that on your own. That's fine. So I usually start with I have to get 50 points or I don't win. There are other creative ways I haven't play tested, but you could try like adding a second spy, and they follow all the same rules. You just move both spies. So it makes it a little more of a nuisance. You can also do something where you place a worker on the level 2 and the level 3, and when you go to the era progression and you reveal the first level 2 tiles, you place a new worker from your enemy there onto the first open tile, and they will now move around. So instead of having 2 opponents, you have 3. And the same thing when you reveal the era progression for level 3. Take that worker, put it down on the first open spot, and now you're going to have 4 of them moving it around, making it a little more difficult for you. So you have some options, but that's not included here. So I want you to know that. What do you think? Would you try it out? But thank you so much. I love you all. Next time.